These are the board games that I've been playing this month. My Patreon backers get to see this video 1 month early. Starting with Movable Type, this is a word game, a card game, where you will have a hand of letter cards and you'll pick one and pass it to your left, much like any pick and pass hand drafting game. You're trying to build a word, so you're going to end up with only 5 letters. There's some common letters in the middle. I really like word games. I enjoyed the word building in this game. What's interesting about it is that you're getting points for a round, and then it's who wins that round will get first picks on which letters they keep back, and then you're playing 4 rounds. Then the 5th round you play with all those letters that you kept back, and how many points can you get with them? Can you even create a proper word with them? So that was interesting, that it isn't about who's the best overall. There is some game to it, and there's also these goals that you can aim for as well. So yeah, I really like this one. I like that it's a small box, so I'm keeping it around. That's Movable Type, the card game. Dude and More Dude are from North Star Games, the makers of Happy Salmon, and there's a real similarity with these games because you are playing a party game effectively, and what you're doing is you're flipping over a card from this deck. Everyone's got an identical deck shuffled up, and you're saying dude, or dude, or dude, or dude, or dude, or dude. And so there's 6 different ways to say the word dude. So you've got that one with some trippy artwork. There's that. There's the question mark. There's a long one. And you're all saying this at the same time. You're trying to find someone to match with. So you're trying to listen to other people saying the word dude and see if they are saying the same type, the same card as you. Then if you think that you both say sweet, then you reveal the card. And if you match, you get a point. If you don't, you pass. And the game ends when someone's got through the deck. So it plays like Happy Salmon, but without actions. You're saying stuff. It's hilarious. It's noisy. It's crazy. It's a lot of fun. And it's just great. You're not going to want to play it loads and loads of times, but I'm so glad to have a game like this in my collection. It's just like ridiculous. And yeah, I'm so pleased with this game. Then you've got More Dude. So once you've maybe played this once or twice, you want to maybe take it up a notch. This one's a bit more complicated. So in this one, your dude cards have pictures of the type of dude that you're trying to portray. So you've got a surfer dude, so you might be like, dude. And then you've got an Italian chef dude, so you might be like, dude. Something like that. And then some of them I just can't do at all. Like, you've got a pirate, that's a bit easier, like, dude. Something like that. But the cowboy one I just can't do at all. So that one makes it harder because you can't, you're saying the same length of word, you're not using question marks or anything. It's all about the accent, and it's also just a lot of fun as well. So I would highly recommend both of those. If I get a chance to review them, they're both definitely getting actual love. They're just great. But they are what you see in them. There's nothing more there. Weird Things Humans Search For is a party game from Big Potato. I've got a card right here. I don't need to open the box. So the idea of this game is that you're trying to guess Google autocomplete. So if that sounds appealing to you, then you should get this game. So for example, a card will say, why do soccer players... And then you, in your team, have to discuss together what you think would be a high autocomplete on Google. What do people search for when they say, why do soccer players? And if you get if you match with one of the ones on here, you're going to get points. Also, if you get the top one, you get even more points. So the answers here are, why do soccer players wear crop tops? Why do soccer players spit, fall over, wear gloves, kiss their wrists, cost so much, argue with the ref? And so... I found that it's a fun one for a bit of discussion. Certainly after the answer's revealed, you get talking. But sometimes it can be quite frustrating because it's not a trivia game. The answers aren't real. And sometimes you can get quite angry with, I guess, why people are so ridiculous that they would search certain things. So some of this stuff makes sense. Why do they fall over? Why do they spit? But then why do they kiss their wrists? Why do they wear crop tops? Like, some of them you're just like, what? We would never have thought of that. And that's the first answer. So I found it can be a little bit frustrating. I prefer Big Potato's game Mr. Lister, where it's very similar in that you're trying to guess things on a list, but it's a trivia game. You're trying to guess real things. and so then it feels good when you get the answers right. This one's a bit more silly, and yeah, it is what it is. It wasn't quite right for me. Tabletop Golf Mars Open is a dexterity game, quite a different one, where you are flicking around, where it's supposed to be set on Mars, and you've got these futuristic golf balls, which look like this. They're sort of these folded bits of card, and they flick like this. I don't want to flick it off the table, but you can do kind of interesting flicks with them, and the idea is that you've got a bunch of different golf, it's kind of like crazy golf. You've got these different obstacles that you're trying to get around. So you might have to flick over this, and then you've got to get it into a hole. So in the box, there's a bunch of different obstacles that you will lay out for different courses, and you're trying to play golf, basically. You're trying to get your golf ball in the hole quicker than anyone else. And it's very different to any other dexterity game. And I've certainly had some fun with it, but I found that flicking this thing, I've lost it now, isn't as rewarding. It doesn't have that kind of feedback that you get with a thicker plastic or cardboard piece. And definitely there is some skill to it. I think you can get better at flicking these things, and there's even in the rulebook it teaches you how to get better. I just didn't find myself pulled back in to want to get better. The other problem that I had with it is simply that in the rulebook it recommends playing with a much bigger table than I own. So I can't play it at the level it's supposed to be played. So maybe this is one more for conventions or just for people with massive tables. I like that it does something completely different to other dexterity games. It's a completely different type of flicking, and I like that it is inspired by golf. It's certainly simple rules-wise, but it wasn't quite the dexterity game that I was looking for. So those are the games that I've played this month. If you would like to see next month's video a month earlier, then back me on Patreon at patreon.com/actuallol. I'm John Purkis. Thanks for watching.